Oh, 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 so much for my happy ending. Oh, oh. Hey guys, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez, coming at today with an Earth 2 update video. Sorry, it's been taking, it's just been taking so long to upload everything. I have to make sure that things are all correct. And unfortunately, again, just before everything, I love you guys, all the support that you give me. There are some haters, whether on Reddit, Facebook, down here. You guys just absolutely come to my side. That means the world, especially when you comment and you smash that like button. Really, it does, using the referral code as well. Which again, you don't have to right now. Right now, there's a reason why not a lot of people are buying, and I'll go over that in a minute. Right now, I just want to say that apologies for the disheveled thing. I was supposed to have my old place through this week until I could move into my apartment on Saturday. I do not have that place, so next video will be coming from my car. Outside of that, what I'm going to go over today is we do have a new update from Dillon Seo. He was the co-founder of Oculus Rift. He is the person that is doing a lot of the work on. He's a big consultant. They go to him for a lot of things on E2, and he does have a couple of things that he mentioned yesterday on Discord that I wanted to go over. One was Essence. So there are many things in Earth 2. They're going to have, we don't know exactly what types of resources, but there are going to be probably water, probably electricity, probably wood, brick, pretty much anything you would see in Settlers of Catan and more. But outside of that, he did say there was going to be a new thing called Essence. And for those of you that played Wingspan, you guys have those little cherry blossoms that those cherry blossoms could be used for anything, whether it's vertebrae or whatever. Essence can be used for whatever you want. You could use Essence for water. You could use it for oil if there is petroleum, if there is that type of thing. Although he did say that there's most likely not going to be that, because when they commented, where is a good place to get oil? Where is a good place to be able, since we were told to not buy oil refineries. And one of the questions was, how am I supposed to gas up my vehicles? And he just said, ... could use electricity, ... LOL. So obviously, we're still probably going to have oil, but there's a chance that it might not be there. There's a chance that you might have to, wind is going to be here. Weather is going to be a big part of this. And if you're in a place that doesn't have a lot of wind, you can, again, terraform the tile that you're on and the tiles around it so that you create blocks of wind. Why is Chicago called the Windy City? Because it has a lot of those buildings where the hot air and cold air meet and it creates wind. So he did say that Essence is going to be able to be used for anything. It is a wild card. It is Deuce's Wild in E2, and Essence is that Deuce. Deuce. Everyone comment down below your favorite Deuce meme. Outside of that, somebody asked one of the questions that I had answered previously about casinos and gambling. He said, would gambling and X-rated stuff be allowed? He said the developers themselves will not create any X-rated types of things. However, whatever anyone else wants to create is up to their discretion. When he answered the thing about casinos, he did say games in casinos, what type of games we could have. He said you would have to build the casino first. So again, if you build it, they will come. People will come out this thing. I am very excited for it. Again, the Earth 2 trailer will be dropping any day now. That might be a time when I go live. If I have battery, I might not have Wi-Fi because, again, next couple videos will be from the car. I have to figure out if I can get into my apartment early when I can do that. Again, it's not really anyone's fault. It's not just because I had COVID, so the people that I were renting from were really uncomfortable with me not being getting them sick. So I was like, okay, let me just figure out another place to stay for the week. Anyone's in New York, please house me. No. Outside of that, we do have him saying that if there's any questions about developing and coding and what you can do inside the game, to ask Wolfgang when he's on, because he does sometimes hang out in the chat on Sundays, again, on Discord. Unfortunately, this Sunday he wasn't in just because they are so busy, they're so hectic trying to get the servers and everything ready for the Phase 2 trailer to come out and for that chaos that's going to ensue. So a lot of people did have a lot of questions and not just like the happy-go-lucky questions of wonder and imagine. I decided to take all the negative questions and put them in this video. I addressed kind of in the last one about rustling jimmies, but here we go. Do you know how easy it is to make an automatic withdrawal system? Why don't we have one yet? Okay, so I'm not gonna curse because I want this to stay relatively PG. Yes, creating an automatic withdrawal system from one person to the other is not that hard. However, covering all their bases takes some time. The last thing that the E2 developers want is for this to be a site where people are laundering money from other nefarious activities that they're doing, whether it's on the darknet, whether they're doing stuff illegally. And just because it's illegal doesn't mean it's a wrong thing. In Venezuela, it is illegal to mine Bitcoin. It's illegal to use cryptocurrency. It doesn't mean it's bad. It doesn't mean that it's it's immoral. It's just that the president doesn't want to devalue their currency any further. Although Maduro, just whether you're from Venezuela, I apologize. You guys are so strong dealing with that person over there. But again, just because something is illegal doesn't make it wrong. But either way, they don't want to be caught in the middle of a whole bunch of lawsuits. And also, they want to make it so that each person is getting the right amount from the right person. There's no scams going on. Speaking of which, the developers have also said, Dillon Seo as well, last night had said, do not buy other people's accounts. Only buy from people that are in-game. Do not use PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, Zelle, or whatever, because you won't be protected. If something happens where someone hacks your account they sell your land to themselves for a penny, they'll be able to trace that and get that back. But if you say, somebody else says, hey, I have $10,000 worth of tiles, I'll give it to you for $5,000, you pay them via Venmo or PayPal outside of the game, and you're not going to be able to, they're not going to be able to protect you. That money is lost. Outside of that, this also has to be bug-free. If it wasn't bug-free, it would get exploited or hacked, and that means anyone could do whatever they want. So they want to make sure this runs with no bugs. Estimates are around 2 weeks right now currently to withdraw. So again, why I always preached before people had this withdrawal issue was to never invest more money than you're willing to lose. Because again, investments in general have inherent risk, and you could lose everything. You could lose everything you invest. Again, that's why I don't short stocks, even though I should have shorted Nikola because I was sure it was going to go down. Same thing with GameStop, where you buy a stock, you put in $5,000 into a stock, and you invest in it. You can only lose that $5,000. But with shorting, there's no upside to how much you can lose. You can lose however much it goes up. Again, there's no upside. So the same thing with this. Don't put any money that you're not willing to lose or might need right away, because you might have to wait a couple of weeks. Now, this is not like Entropia, where you have almost a 2-month waiting period. Gamers of Entropia have to wait 50 days for them to get their funds. Obviously, this 2 weeks, even though it is not up to the standards of the developers say that this is unacceptable right now, and they are working so hard to try to get everyone as quickly as possible their money. But in the future, that's why they're working on PayPal, Zelle, Venmo, Cash App, whatever it is to make it easier for everyone to get their money. And it should be, if not instant, in a couple of days. Again, if you want to instantly get it wired, that's something that might cost you a little bit of money. But ACH should only take a couple days to clear. Remember, with new withdrawal systems coming within a few months, is the E2 token stable enough? I have seen lots of... All right, so basically what this person's trying to say is that they had lost money in other types of things because the blockchain was not there, it was not good. Right now, we don't know. It is supposedly attached to Ethereum. Dillon Seo even mentioned that last night, that nothing is set in stone yet. But again, if it's attached to Ethereum, it should be fine. Even if it's not, even if it's just its own thing that they make, there's a finite amount. And again, this is just my opinion, but because it's a finite amount, it should, at some point when it gets squeezed, meaning there's more demand than there is tokens, it should go up. But as far as being stable, Tesla, a $800 billion company, that stock price, even though it's in the S&P 500, is not stable. It increased 5% today. So as far as this being stable, enough, it depends on what your definition of stable and enough is. It could go up, it could go down, go crazy. Right now, we just have those in-game credits, which one in-game credit is the same as $1. As far as stability, we have no idea where it'll go. Um, London Landmarks says that the homepage is now misleading because only now does e-money equal $1, and all other transactions before were in just US dollars, not the E2 currency. He says that this game gives the impression that every purchase ever made was with game credits. They need help on their PR and make announcements before these changes. So he goes on further. I'm just going to address this right now. Yes, everything that was purchased, even though it says right now is for in-game credits, it was with US dollars, but because a 1 credit equals $1, that's why they're saying that. That's why they didn't make the distinction of, oh, these are going to be in US dollars, now these are US credits or are in-game credits. That would just confuse more people than it would help. It's much easier just to have it on the website saying, okay, because 1 credit is equal to $1, and all of these purchases up until the other day were made with US dollars. They're just going to say, make it uniform, that everything was with credits from then and now. So that's why they're doing that. When he says they need help on PR, make announcements before the changes, they do make the announcements. They made the announcements on Discord, on Facebook, probably anywhere they have accounts, they have made it. And people like me and Aria Realty and Guidebook Gaming are the ones that go over it and dispense to everyone else. Because again, the developers right now only have so much reach. They didn't expect us, but we're here, and they don't exactly rely on us, but they know that we'll keep you guys informed as these updates come out. I should have this as a media company. He goes on to say they shouldn't allow bids for 0.01 cents. Okay, so right there, what he's probably addressing this person in the comments saying that why would anyone sell their thing for 1 cent, where people have been hacked and they've had their places sold for 1 cent to the hacker. Well, again, that is covered by the game. They will get that property back. The one that did the hacking, they'll get their account suspended, they'll reverse the transaction, and they're going to get that back. But the reason why they have it for 1 cent right now is because people do giveaways. Guidebook Gaming is notorious for giving away land, class 1 tiles, and again, because you can't actually give it away or sign anything over, what they have to do is just bid 1 penny on it. The winner of the land giveaways that he does on his Twitch is, they say, okay, it's going to go up for sale, bid 1 penny on it, and I'll accept. And that's why they have to do that. If he's asking why only bid for 1 penny, where do you want it? 10 cents, $1? Like a free market. Free market knows all. He continues on to say they should have confirmation pop-ups. That's something that is actually something that I don't know if has been brought to the developers yet. I'll bring it to them as soon as I can, whether it's in Discord or shoot them an email, because confirmation pop-up saying, okay, do I want to do this? Yes, that is something that could be a second layer. Good idea. They should have legal and / financial team so that no false promises are made. Okay, they do. They do have a legal and financial team. What are you saying as far as no false promises that are made? If they're saying something like Phase 2 trailer coming out, and then it doesn't come out as soon as you want it to, that doesn't mean they made a false promise. It's going to happen. And even if they said it's coming out in Phase 1, it's trailer for Phase 2 is coming out in Q1 between January and March, and let's say it happens to come out in April because they didn't want the servers to get overloaded again. That's not a false statement. They just didn't get it out in time. When Elon Musk says we're going to do this much deliveries this year, and they don't hit it, that's just saying, okay, well, we got as close as we could, but this is what we wanted to do. It's not forward or misleading statements. That's saying that what they want to do, that should come out here. And if it doesn't come out on time, there is a good reason for it. Again, I mentioned in my last video, every single thing that they do, even if it doesn't make sense to whoever, there is a reason for it, even if it doesn't make sense at that moment. And then used to say that, that was it. All right, so outside of that negative thing, come back to a little bit positives. This one's a confusing one. AMC has raised $917 million to avoid bankruptcy. Will this take away from plays and concerts or any entertainment in E2? Similar to how some people think that GM or Volkswagen's electric vehicle sales will take away from Tesla vehicle sales, no. Those electric vehicles will only take away from internal combustion engine sales. They won't take away from Tesla vehicle sales. The same way, and again, there's an analogy here, that AMC raising $917 million and avoiding bankruptcy will not take away from any entertainment in E2. It might take away from business on Netflix, or it might take away from United Arts. United Arts as another movie theater conglomeration. It might take away from them. It won't take away from anything else entertainment-wise. It might not even take away from Netflix or anything. It would only take away from other competing movie theaters. It won't take away from anything with E2. But good question, though. Dutch polders. Oh, yeah. All right. So Dutch polders and Mexico City, those places were built over lakes. What happens if those cities are wiped because they're man-made? It's a very good question, and it should presume if it's a 1-to-1 or 10-by-10, to a mirror of Earth 1, then if those cities are wiped out and they're built over lakes, they should have those lakes underneath. And I'm not sure, but sometimes there are double lakes. Like, it is possible, like where the Loch Ness Monster was supposedly seen in that lake, there's another lake underneath. On how you can get to it, again, I'm not exactly sure. I'm not a geologist, but there could be lakes under lakes under lakes. And if we're allowed to tunnel, like the developer said, that's going to be a very big thing. We can be able to go underneath those lakes and explore it. I'm not sure if it's like Minecraft, where if we, all right, here's a lake and here's land, we're digging. As soon as we hit water, it all gets flooded. I'm not sure if that's something that'll happen right away. We're not even sure about the mechanics of the game at this time. Outside of that, does many people profile? Oh, okay. So don't buy other people's profiles, which is what I said before. Someone was asking me if I wanted to sell my profile at once. Could I do that? No, yet. You could, if you want to, give someone your logins and say, like, here, it's yours now, and it's a friend or a family member. I guess that's fine, but again, anything you do outside of the game won't be covered by the developers. So thank you, everyone, for the questions. Please comment down below any questions that you have for me or things that you're buying right now. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. I love you all. Class dismissed. Meow, meow. Oh, wait. No, not yet. I'm going to tell them, like, it was a premature meow. I'm sorry. Somebody asked about why aren't people buying that? Why is everything slowing down? That was another thing as far as negative stuff. Why is everything slowing down? Okay, there is a lot of, I'm going to rustle some jimmies again. There's a lot of immaturity in here, and a lot of people that have really just gotten spoiled, buying down here and automatically going up to here the next day or the next week. Whereas people are complaining, like, is it crashing? You're not losing money. You're just not making money as fast as you were. When it was buying here, going down here the next day, now you're buying up here, and it's going up here the next day. And then here the next, and it's very, very slow compared to what we're used to. It's very quick as far as that, but a lot of people, like a lot, and I promise not to say anything. Oh, I have another tweet to show you as well. I promise not to say anything as far as who it's from, but there's a buddy of mine that brought this to a firm of his, and they love this idea, and they have access to 9 figures worth of capital. Obviously, not all of that would be out of here, but as far as an investment goes, as far as their clients go, they want to see these guys be profitable. They want to see these guys, as far as E2 developers, they want to see a smooth withdrawal process, and they want them to have a full game completed before it. But there are people that are ready to go into this game. They just want to make it see, like, okay, make sure it's bug-free. Again, this game is very new. This game right now is in Stage 1, baby Pokemon stage. In Phase 2, it will begin to evolve into a second stage Pokemon. Right now, we're Poliwags. We're going to evolve into Poliwhirls eventually in Stage 2. And in Stage 3, be a full-blown Poliwrath with the swirl changing. But outside of that, I did have a tweet I wanted to show you guys. Where is it? Okay, so, and I was actually tagged in it. Lancelot Investments from Twitter this morning said Earth 2 big news is coming. And of course I commented I of course had to plug in my stuff. I got a couple of hearts, a couple of likes on it, and comments. And this guy is really known for, again, not a crazy amount of followers, but the followers that he has follow him for all of his great investment calls that he made, such as Facebook, Palantir, Tesla. I'm not sure a bunch of what those others ones stand for, but I'm not sure which one called it first, whether it was him or me on Tesla, but that's what we bonded over. And with Earth 2, this is another thing that we're bonding over again. He has people actually pay him to give them financial advice. So he has it set up whereas like anyone can go and pay for saying like, okay, this is what I think is a good investment right now. People will pay him for his suggestions. Again, right now, I do all of this for free. The only thing that I kind of make money on is if anyone that supports me on Patreon because you love me and you love my product, or if you have a, if I'm getting enough people clicking on ads and watching the whole video, I'll make a little bit on the YouTube ad revenue side. But again, those are really pennies right now, or again, not pennies, people in Patreon, and it's a couple dollars worth, but it's not something I could really live on. As far as doing this full time for you guys, like I said, if I was making $200 a day from YouTube and Patreon combined, I would do this full time. I would stop everything else. But again, right now we're far from that. I'm making about $10 a day on YouTube, and then about $40-ish a month on Patreon. So right now, figure $10 a day, maybe $300 a month. So about $340 a month right now. I need much more than that. Again, it doesn't have to be $200 a day. Maybe a little less. But again, my goal is to just be able to bring you guys the best content that I could bring, keep you guys informed, make you guys a whole bunch of money. I want to be like kind of like Bill Gates, where he gave a bunch of his employees stock options, and now they're all multi-millionaires. I want to be able to do that with you guys. I'm going to be a millionaire this decade, like that. Originally, I thought it was going to be when I was 40, and then I thought, okay, well, 38. Well, now I can do it by 36, and I'll probably do it by 35, 36. But if this game takes off the way I think it will, it could possibly be within the next couple of years. So this is something that, again, I want to share that with all of you. I want every single one of you guys to make money, because if you guys make money, and then you guys will say like, oh, the next project that I go towards, they'll say, okay, well, he's been right so far about Tesla, about high-risk lending, Pokemon cards, and Earth 2. And there's a bunch of people here that have followed me throughout all of that and have made oodles of money. Again, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, although that's what I'm doing in this office. So I love you guys. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. I love you all. Meow, meow, meow. Real meow this time. Meow.